Well, the F1 is over, and we won't be doing F1 videos for a couple of weeks, and that's kind of a good thing. Um, because FPL is gonna be hotting up a little bit. This is always a crazy time. I mentioned that December is a crazy time. I was kind of lying, actually. It's actually December to January. It's this couple of weeks. Let me give you an idea of what we're going to be coming up against, because for the next 4 weeks, and you guys aren't going to see the deadlines, but this is to let you know, right? So our next deadline for game week 19, game week 18, the one we're currently on, is going to be in just over a day, just under a day, right? Starting on the Friday, we're going to try and get this out as quickly as possible before then. Then game week 19, that's on Tuesday, so we're going to be doing a recording on the Monday for that. Game week 20 next week, so next Thursday again for Friday. To get that out for Friday. Then we got another Tuesday. And then finally, we have a couple of weeks where people can relax because we have the FA Cup. So this is the intense time. You're going to be seeing a lot more from me when it comes to the FPL stuff. And once things calm down, then we can start doing the F1 stuff. So should we jump straight on into it? Start reviewing what happened in game week 17 and looking ahead to game week 18 and what we're going to do. Now, I've made my decisions already, but it's still worth having a look into it. So let's start off. We start off with last Saturday's fixtures. We had a bumper crop of matches. 9, I think it was. Hold on, 4, yeah, 8 in total on the Saturday. Just on the Saturday alone. We started off with Newcastle versus Chelsea, the 12:30 game. That was a blaze. 2-2 in the end. Newcastle getting 2 goals through Nick Voltemada. I said that he potentially could have done good, and I didn't back it with my players, which is a little bit shocking. Then we had Chelsea coming back, making it a 2-2 result. Really incredible result, to be quite honest. Then we had Bournemouth versus Burnley. I think I called this one to be a draw, but I didn't expect it to be quite this defensive. So Bournemouth against Burnley did all right. 1-1, not too bad. Sunderland, I think, did well to get a point against Brighton Hove Albion. Sunderland struggled away, and they actually weren't too bad. And getting that draw against Brighton, really good for them. And Sunderland are showing that they can stay solid, even though they've lost players during AFCON. So really impressive stuff from them. Then we had Manchester City walking over West Ham United. Yeah, it was kind of a bit easy for them, and it was also easy for Brentford against Wolverhampton Wanderers. Wolves were good against Arsenal, but my goodness, they were woeful against Brentford. Then we had Tottenham Hotspur versus Liverpool. I have no idea what the hell happened in that match. 2 red cards for Tottenham Hotspur. Liverpool, Alexander Isak and his injury, that's crazy. So much happened, and we got stuff to discuss Liverpool wise, but Spurs wise as well. I'd be a bit concerned as a Spurs fan and to be picking Spurs players. And we had Everton versus Arsenal, 1-0 victory for Arsenal. Wasn't the prettiest, but they got the job done. I think it was a penalty in the end. And then Leeds, 4-1 winners over Crystal Palace. Has someone just flicked a switch? Have Leeds all of a sudden gone back to the Leeds of the 90s? I don't know, but really well done for them. Really deserved it. Then we had on the Sunday, just the one match, which was Aston Villa versus Manchester United. Aston Villa getting a win. They weren't impressive in their performance, but they are just getting the job done. And Morgan Rogers getting both goals, really good. Problem for Man United though, Bruno Fernandes getting injured, and Bruno Fernandes does get picked in a lot of FPL matches, so that has had an impact. And then finally we moved over to Monday, Fulham versus Nottingham Forest, 1-0 win, penalty for Raul Jimenez. Nothing much to really write home about, but it did help us. We got through in the next round of the Cup, and in terms of our points overall, we ended up with 77 points, which was what we needed. When it came to the Cup, it's got us into the round of 2 million. I don't know if we're going to get anything good of the Cup, but we're going to try. We're going to try and see where we go from there. So let's look ahead. Let's look ahead. We've got the matches going on, and almost things broke there. Starting off with Manchester United versus Newcastle United. Um, hmm. I think both teams are in a situation where they need to restart their seasons. They had like a decent run, and then it's fallen away. It almost feels like they've had similar seasons. What I will say is Newcastle do seem more organised. Man United will be focusing more on Cunha with for the Fernandes injury, with Mbuemo off to AFCON. Maybe that focus means that it'll be easier for Newcastle to nullify because they know where the danger's going to come from. So yeah, I'm going to go for a Newcastle win here. I think there's going to be a goal from Bruno Guimaraes. I don't know why. Something's in my head that Bruno Guimaraes is going to get a goal. And Harvey Barnes as well. I think Harvey Barnes might get a goal as well. Then we move on to the Saturday matches. This is where we get the bumper crop. We have 5 matches going on at 3 p.m, which is madness. We start off with Nottingham Forest versus Manchester City. Man City just seem to be on a run right now. Really hard to stop them. Sean Dyche will do what he can. Sean Dyche just does Sean Dyche things, so yeah. But yeah, I do think it's going to be a Man City win. 12:30, that does make it trickier, but yeah, I think it's going to be a Man City win. Arsenal versus Brighton Hove Albion. Brighton are one of those teams that they're the sticky. It's a sticky fixture for Arsenal. Do I think Arsenal are going to walk over Brighton? Absolutely not. It's hard not to see them getting a win. They just seem to be on a run right now. But I'm going to go for another one now. I think it'll only be 1 goal for Arsenal. They'll prove me wrong, I'm sure, but yeah, I just feel that way. Then we have Brentford versus Bournemouth. Bournemouth, whisper it quietly, but Bournemouth seems to be on quite a bad run at the moment. A little bit concerning, conceding a lot of goals as well. And Brentford have Kelleher. And for me, Kelleher seems to be the switch for Brentford, and Brentford at home. So yeah, I'm going to go for a Brentford not being beaten. I'll push it to a win, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's a draw either. We have Burnley versus Everton next. As much as I like Burnley, I don't like Everton. I do think they're going to get a win. Who scores a goal? I have no idea. Maybe Barry. Is it Louis Barry? I think his surname is. We have West Ham versus Fulham next. I know I'm skipping over one, but that's important. West Ham versus Fulham. Fulham again are just one of those that they're getting the job done right now. I can't see Fulham losing this. 1-1 is possible, but I'm going to go for a Fulham win and hope that it does well for us. And then Chelsea versus Aston Villa. Aston Villa on a run. Chelsea are the ones in 4th. It's 3rd v 4th. Aston Villa being the ones in 3rd. I'm going a draw. Scoring draw. I think Morgan Rogers will get one. I think it's going to be 1-1, 2-1, something like that. But I skipped over it. Liverpool versus Wolverhampton Wanderers. Now, let's start off with the easy thing. I think it's going to be a Liverpool win. I really do. But this is going to be an emotional one. This is the match that we knew was coming, but is making me worried, even though it's coming. The Diogo Jota match. For those that don't know, Diogo Jota played for Wolverhampton Wanderers before he played for Liverpool. This is the first match between the two since his accident. Diogo Jota's sons are going to be accompanying the mascots walking out. There's a lot going on. And look, do I think it's going to be a Liverpool win? Absolutely. But this is a bigger picture. This is more about what else is going on. This is going to be the one where if you've got the opportunity to look for TikToks or lives or something like that that's going on at Anfield, this is the time to do it. It is going to be emotional. And yeah, look, it's sad that Wolverhampton Wanderers are on the run that they are. They are just not performing well. I kind of want them to get a result because it's the Diogo Jota match, but at the same time, this is Liverpool. They just seem to be switched on a bit more. Yes, they've got the Isaac injury. Kiesa's going to probably come on or something like that, but no, could be interesting. Could be interesting. But yeah, Liverpool win for that. Ekatike seems to be on fire as well. Interesting snapshot, by the way, of Ekatike's celebration. I don't know if anyone saw it, but he definitely seemed to enjoy it. Let's just say that. Anyway, on to the Sunday. We have Sunderland versus Leeds. Ooh, this is good. This is a good one. Sunderland been on this constant run. Leeds are on this good run as well. They're both meeting each other at the perfect time for us, not necessarily the perfect time for them. I think with Sunderland's defence, they could be good, but I do think Leeds attack's doing well. We're covered both ways, as you're about to see, but it is basically Sunderland defence versus Leeds attack, and I think it's going to be fascinating. And then we've got Crystal Palace versus Tottenham Hotspur. Two teams that seem to be on quite a bad run, and I want to talk about Tottenham Hotspur. I'm concerned about them. You know, when you just see a performance from a team, a losing team, that makes you go, oh dear, this is bad. And Tottenham Hotspur's performance against Liverpool last week kind of really showed that. They seemed out of control, ill-disciplined, almost like they were fighting, they were battling. I don't know. I don't know what I see, but I don't like it. Spurs concern me. It's Crystal Palace at home, though, so I'm going 0-0. I'm calling a draw. I'm just calling a draw. I can't see anything else. I cannot see anything else. And then that's it when it comes to the weekend's fixtures. So, what are we going to do for our team? We've made our transfers already. We are going to be bench boosting because we're about to run that chip out at some point as well. And here's what we've got. We've got Kelleher hoping to get a clean sheet against Bournemouth. But if that doesn't work out, we've got Semenyo that's going to be attacking on the other side. We've got Frimpong and Ekatike hoping to do well. Frimpong seemed to be played as a winger in the last match, which was interesting. So maybe an assist for Frimpong we're hoping for. We've got Robinson and Wilson for Fulham, hoping that they will do well. We've got Saliba against Brighton. We've got Morgan Rogers against Chelsea. We've got Phil Foden, Haaland and Reinders against Forest. Gay against Tottenham Hotspur. We've got Maatson on the bench also against Chelsea. And we've got Roofs against Leeds. This is going to be the team that we're going to go for. This is also the captains we're going to go for. This is what we're going to do. And yeah, that's really all that needs to be said. These are going to be quick fire, a little bit shorter, these videos. But again, you know how the drill works. I'd love to know your thoughts, who you pick, who you wouldn't pick, anything to keep an eye out for, all that stuff. And that's worth pointing out. And the usual YouTube stuff, like, subscribe, do whatever you guys want to do for watching the video. And I suppose until next time, guys, best of luck, except for the team that I'm playing against in the cup, and take care.